What's up, family? It's your boy Chappell coming to you with another episode of Recap Kickback. Recap Kickback is the podcast where I get together with you, the listeners, to dive into the world of Black entertainment or whatever the hell else I want to talk about. It's Black History Month, so we are in the midst of our February Top 5 series where every week we will rank the Black movies and television shows to find the top 5 of each genre to celebrate this supersized Black History Month. As you all know, this is a longer than usual Black History Month, and so we got an extra day, and I intend on using it. And with me, again, to talk about the top 5 Black romance movies this week, my co-host who knows exactly where she was when she fell in love with hip-hop, it's Mari Forth. Mari, what's good?
Hi, Chappelle. We're back. We're talking Black romances this week. You know, we're almost coming to the end of our countdown here. Just like Black History Month, it tend to fly by. But I'm glad to be here to rank another top 5. I feel like this one, I'm not going to get as mad as maybe last week.
Yeah, we got a lot of feedback last week. People are loving the podcast, but they are disagreeing with the results of the rankings. And guess what, y'all? Y'all are the ones ranking them. So
it's your fault.
Be sure, it's on you. We just come here
not
and
us.
read the rankings. My rankings were correct. How high was the best? But if y'all are wrong, y'all are wrong. But listen, thank y'all for participating. Thank y'all for filling out the survey. We try to post it in the show notes every week. If you haven't been seeing that, shoot us an email or something like that. I'll email it directly to you. It's also going to be in the Facebook group. It'll be on Twitter. We try to put it wherever you can find it so that your voice can be heard, so that when you get mad about the rankings, we know exactly who to blame. That's you guys. So
y'all.
So Mari, with us today, I am pleased to introduce the kickback to one of our cousins from up the street. Okay, this is from the A Who All Gonna Be There podcast. It's Tracy J. Tracy, what's good?
Hey y'all, I'm making it. I'm here. It's Black History Month, so I'm ready to show out. I'll show out all through the year, but you know, February we do a little extra.
Turn it up.
Turn it up a little bit.
Just a little nod, you know?
Yeah. Tracy, thank you for coming, number one, because I don't think you can have a kickback without somebody saying, hey, who all gonna be there at some point? So it just felt natural to invite you,
just
right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, Tracy, could you please let everybody know who's unfamiliar? First of all, if you're unfamiliar, why? Get into it. But if you're unfamiliar with who all gonna be there, could you let us know and let the listeners know what it is that y'all talk about and how y'all podcast works?
Basically, me and a group of my friends, we came together during the Cookout era in Big Brother reality TV world, and we were like, Black people need to be talking about this. So we came together, made a podcast, and that's kind of where we're at now. We do talk about a lot of reality TV, Big Brother, Survivor, but at A Who All Gonna Be There, we do what we want to do. If it's something good on TV we watching, we want to talk about it. So y'all, follow us, subscribe.
Yes, thank you so much.
Great follow.
It's a great follow. It's a great team over there. I've been on before. I love talking to them. Hopefully there's a lot more, exchange where they could come on to the kickback.
You know, the door is always the door is always open for fam. Always.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Come through the back.
Yeah. Leave the door crack for you. You ain't got to pay charge to get in. You already know.
You go.
So listen, Mari, we did get some listener feedback. I want to start with an email that we got. Okay.
Ooh.
It says, hey, hello. How's it going? I have some cool information that might interest you. Your podcast, Recap Kickback, has good performance in Apple Podcast rankings in the last 30 days, position 51 in Singapore. Okay.
Oh,
so society and culture. Shout out to Singapore. Okay. Yay. I didn't know it got ghetto over there, but apparently shout out to Singapore for sure. Yeah. Also, we got a lot of YouTube comments in the last few days.
A lot of
people have.
I was looking at them right now.
Yeah, they've been enjoying the recaps. They've been enjoying all the episodes and stuff. We did get one from L Was for FN47. I messed that up. But anyway, fun episode. One thing we really like, helpful for as a viewer that would like to multitask while watching would be the poster of the movie you're talking about. So today, if you're watching the video, come hell or high water, I'm gonna get them posters to pop up on the screen because this is professional.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And if you have any issues with that, be nice because I'm an artist and I am sensitive about my shit. So
Mhm.
leave 5-star reviews, keep the feedback coming. Let us know that you're loving the podcast. Shout out to Bobby Hall as well. We always get good comments from Bobby
Yes.
Hall, from Regina, always letting us
Yep.
know that they're watching. Laura Taplin as well. Everybody tapping in and saying, I like what you're doing and I have thoughts. You can always email us at recapkickback@gmail.com. Mari, you got something to add?
Well, yeah, we did get a comment on YouTube asking, can we do Black sitcoms? Haha! Next week, we got you. We got y'all.
Yes.
I'm jealous.
Next week, Black sitcoms.
I will be tuned in.
Yes.
Yes.
That'll probably be a fighting one. We might be fighting for that one. I don't know.
It will.
Well, speaking of a fight, yeah, people have been demanding to see some Jason Reed appearances here on the Kickback. And guess who is our guest for next week? Jason Reed, y'all.
Hey.
So Mari, put your gloves on because it's about to get real here for these
every
sitcoms.
time. Every time.
But Mari,
so, yes.
Yeah, let's talk about the rankings. Now, I know last week it was some controversy, but this week, how do you feel overall before we even get into what the specifics are about our top 5?
I would say overall, I feel like this was kind of a harder category to get people actually participate in. Yeah. I thought for some reason, I don't know why I thought it would be easier because I feel like a lot of these movies on here are movies that spark good debate. Like when you talk romance, you always, get those weird relationship debates and stuff like that. But I think we were begging, we fill out our survey, y'all.
please.
Yeah. So but we got enough people. We got it as much as we normally do. It just took a few extra days and a little bit more harder work, but I'm glad to be doing it because there's some things on here that we gotta discuss. We gotta discuss. I'm very disappointed in the audience.
Oh, all right. Tracy, how you feel about that? It's ominous, right?
I don't know. We're gonna see what the list is talking about. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me.
Right. Oh yeah. Because Tracy, you filled out the list too, so we got to blame somebody.
I did.
Look,
I did.
So, all right, y'all. So Mari, starting with number 5. Out the gate, let's don't disappoint me. What do we have here for number 5 on our top 5 greatest Black romances?
So number 5 is it. I personally am upset because
Mari.
this was my number 1. So this is why I'm like, okay, it's fine, but at least it's in the top 5. Number 5, Boomerang, Eddie Murphy.
Boomerang with Eddie Murphy.
Is 5.
Interesting.
So if you haven't seen Boomerang,
I have not seen Boomerang.
Ooh.
Oh,
maybe you're the problem.
Look,
we found the drama.
I think it's me.
Yeah.
There were 2 or 3 I hadn't seen, and that's one of the ones. But I heard Boomerang is awesome. I need to watch it.
It is amazing. Boomerang follows Eddie Murphy, who's kind of like a serial womanizer, and then he meets his match in Robin Givens here, who's basically a man eater. But then also you have the good girl Halle Berry in it, and it's very rom-com. It's so good. Eddie Murphy, this is peak Eddie Murphy. Not to mention you have Grace Jones in here as Strange, just stealing every scene that she's in. I remember being a kid and watching this and being like, I have no idea what Strange, who she is or what she's doing, but I'm intrigued.
Right.
Boomerang, Chappell, where did it rank on your list?
So not to add to the drama here, but I have seen Boomerang, but not recently enough for me to rank it. I left it off my rankings altogether because I couldn't remember how much I liked the movie or not. So I was like, okay, Boomerang is one of the favorites. We know it was directed by Reggie Hudlin, who goes on to work for BET, and we have this star-studded cast: Halle Berry, David Alan Grier, Martin Lawrence, the Kid, Grace Jones, Chris Rock,
great cast.
Eddie Murphy. Yeah, exactly. So I felt like leaving it off my list, it wouldn't fall too low because everybody else talks so highly about Boomerang. I know Ty is ranking it number 1 as we speak, even though he already has submitted his rankings. He's probably still submitting them to push this Eddie Murphy movie to the top. But Mari, you said this is your favorite romance movie of all time. What is it about Boomerang that stands out to you the most?
Me and James both ranked it number 1. I have to give my husband a shout out because he didn't appreciate how I was mad at him on the last one. But yeah, only like just because of this list. Like as I was filling out the survey, I was realizing like I don't really connect as much to the Black romances as I did to like the Black comedies or the Black dramas. Why? I don't know. Maybe because
not that many of them.
Yeah, and maybe because most of these came out at a time that I was young, so I could not connect to the stories in a romantic way. You know what I'm saying? And you know, the reason why I'm not going to give you shit, Chappell, is honestly, you're right. You know, one of my number 1 ranking things is like how many times have I watched the movies, and there's only maybe like 3 movies on here that I've watched like a series and several times. So like so I get it. I get why you could leave it off. So, you know, I think Boomerang is probably, other than 2 other movies, it's one of the movies that I've watched the most, and it is a movie that I remember watching as a kid and distinctly like watching it and being like, what am I watching? Should I be watching this? Type
Should I be
like,
watching this?
and watching it several times. So, and it's just so funny. It's a great rom-com. And I don't think I've seen it within the past 10 years or so, like since I've been an adult. Yeah, not fully. So, but it still has like a distinct memory. So that's why I think I put it at number 1.
Okay. Tracy, now I know you haven't seen Boomerang. One thing that Mari and I have noticed that each of these countdowns, there's something that one of us hasn't seen, both of us haven't seen, or something that one of us has seen and just feels like the other one needs to watch it. If we do a Boomerang watch, you're gonna come back to the kick out and you know, and kick back and have it, you know,
for sure. Let me
like I said, I don't really remember it. Mari loves it. I'd love to see where you land on this. So maybe in the future, because Eddie Murphy has come up a lot on our countdown so far, Tracy.
Almost in every category.
I'm team Eddie Murphy all the way, so that's easy for sure.
Yeah, we got.
We should almost do Black horror so he could just win Vampire in Brooklyn, like number 1.
Ooh, yeah.
Well, maybe
I'm not rewatching Vampire Brooklyn.
Kind of goes there.
Yeah, I'm not rewatching.
I saw Vampire in Brooklyn in the theaters with my aunt.
You saw it in the theaters?
Yeah, because my aunt should not have been.
I definitely saw that in a VHS.
Not old enough to be watching Vampire in Brooklyn.
What year? What year did that come out?
Like Mari watched it in '93.
I gotta look that up.
She was the wild one. We snuck into it too. I remember we snuck into it. Like we weren't even supposed to be there.
1995.
Mari, yeah, you had.
That's what happens when. That's what happens.
I was 7
your
then.
Family is only 10 years older than you.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. We might say Black horror for October. You know. What I'm saying?
Ooh, that'd be dope.
Yeah, because I gotta remind y'all how ghetto Leprechaun in the Hood was, but we'll get to that later on.
Oh my God, I'm terrified of leprechauns because of that. I do not mess with leprechauns. Yes,
I can see that.
I don't.
Tracy, I'm booking you for October as well.
I'm terrified of anything below the knee. Pinocchio, Chucky. I don't mess with none of them. Yeah,
Chucky,
call me in October for sure.
Call you in October. Got you.
Yes.
Mari, anything else you want to add about Boomerang before we move on to number 4?
Nothing other than I need y'all to watch it like expeditiously. Okay. Like honestly, it the cast is amazing. The storyline I think is really good, and it's very classic. It's a very classic story, and I just love it. I do. Eddie Murphy, Robin Givens. Honestly, Robin Givens to me just is amazing in this. It kind of has like a pseudo female empowerment kind of line, like take like flipping the game, because you know Eddie Murphy is the player, but Robin Givens kind of puts him on his ass. So it's like it's a very fun watch. Yeah.
Okay. All right, Mari. Let's talk about number 4. Hopefully, Tracy and I have seen this one in recent years and can help you out with this one.
I feel confident. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, let's see. Because number 4 It's time for a poetry slam. Love Jones is number 4.
Okay.
Oh,
Love Jones.
okay. We got
Okay.
action
Yes.
here. All right. Mari, did you rank
Yes.
Love Jones high on your list?
No. I think I
Oh,
have Love Jones like mid list. Let me just pull up my list real quick.
yeah. I
I'm
think
pretty sure I have it
I-
like 7 or 8 or something. Yeah, I have it. I
Mhm.
have like Love Jones at 8
Okay.
because this is the one I told you, Chappelle. I watched literally 10 years ago, like
mhm,
for the first time,
yeah.
yeah.
and I was
I
just
think I watched this
like,
in college.
"Huh,
Yeah, it had to be about 10
yeah,
years ago. I seen it.
exactly." I was like, "Interesting." Um,
Mhm.
okay, like that's what, like that was my. I didn't understand what everybody loved about it. It felt just like a toxic relationship playing out in the movie theater. Maybe it could be relatable to some. Um, but I didn't get the hype once I watched it, I guess.
Mhm. And
Hmm.
Tracy, what about you? How you feel about Love Jones?
I mean, again, it's been years since I watched it. I've only seen
Yeah,
it once. I
same.
never did a spin around the block to watch it again. Um, I mean, I think it's a good movie, but is it
Mhm.
good enough for me to put it back on and watch it numerous times? No.
Okay.
Like, yeah, the one thing I did get from it was like the star power of like Lorenz Tate and Nia Long. Like that I
I love
understood.
Mhm.
Lorenz Tate, even though he's
Yeah.
toxic. But I love Lorenz Tate. Yes, I feel like
I
Yeah.
that was my
love
first really like known of who Lorenz Tate is.
yes,
Mhm.
Definitely.
yes, the acting was really good, and I'm not lying, they made you feel for the relationship and stuff like that,
Oh, for
but
sure.
it was just so much like, couldn't be me, that I was just like, I
Yes,
it's just
exactly.
hard to
Like,
relate.
pass was a lot of times.
Yeah,
I'm a
for
pass
me,
on that.
it's so hard to get into like romance movies, books, stuff like that, like, period. Romance is like my least favorite genre. Unless it's like a get like I said, like a rom-com. I think that's why I like Boomerang
Yeah.
so much because it has a lot of comedy in it. So, I think that's where, like, for me, romance is just like, meh, I'm not romantic when it comes to like my media. I don't like romance in my media like that.
Mm,
So,
Mhm.
Chappelle.
Well,
I see.
I think I'm higher on Love Jones than y'all. I think I ranked it like number
Okay.
8. But yeah, like well, here's the thing. Well, Love Jones, I think, is a good movie. I think it's solid. I think as a love story, like you said,
Yeah.
Mari, it is toxic. It is. It's he is a very persistent pursuer of her throughout the film. I don't think Love Jones drops in 2024. I think that people look at that and be
Mhm.
No.
like,
Oh no.
she said she was good, sir. Why are you showing up
Me
at her
too.
job?
It'd be
Like,
me too.
right.
Yeah.
There's a moment in the movie where when he first starts to pursue Nia Long's character, Lauren Tate's character, pursues her. That he finds out like where she lives by going to like the restaurant or something. Very much that Alicia Keys in that "You Don't Know My Name"
Mm,
video, where she like, I got your name out of
uh-huh.
the little thing and I came to your
There's
house. That,
You're doing too much.
it was like that. Like he literally popped up at our crib and she was like, "Whoa!"
What?
Uh,
what are you
yeah,
doing?
Little
and
stalkery.
there's several times throughout the film where it goes in that direction, where she's kind of like, "I'm good," and he's like, "No, just let me come in and read books." And they don't read no books, you know what I'm saying?
They don't.
And it was just stuff like that. Like, yeah, let's come in and listen to music. Let's do some poetry. It was never there was no poetry done. You know what I'm saying? They were doing other things, but things that initially she said, I'm not really feeling it. So I know that probably doesn't age too well.
Nah.
Also, I think some of the things that might count against Love Jones is just that the relationship is very toxic. I mean, it kind of falls
Mhm.
apart for no reason, just because they have a disagreement. There's what some people would call some homie hopping going on. We got some evil black characters in the background being shisty. There's a
Evil
few
black.
things, but ultimately, yeah, they come back together and they do have a romance. And Love Jones is a classic black romance
It
movie,
is.
and I think it is because it's so black. I think Love Jones is pretty much an
Mm,
Feel
entirely
like real
black
life.
cast. Right, right.
yeah.
Entirely black cast. They go to black clubs. They say, "Hey, stay black, my brother." They say that when they're leaving each other in each other's graces and stuff like that. They're talking about poetry, slam poetry, which we know is very black. This is a very
Mhm.
neo
Yes.
soul
Love that.
ass movie. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is,
And so,
yeah.
Yeah, Neo. That's perfect description. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I think for that, it'll always be in the conversation because it's so Black. I can't hear the song Hopeless by Deion Ferris. You say I'm hopeless, like a penny with a hole in it. Because it's through the whole film. It's through the whole film. So stuff like that makes it really stand out. Of course, y'all talked about Lorenz Tate in this role as like the leading man, Nia Long, who was one of the it girls of this era, the 90s and early 2000s.
Sure.
So a lot of things were working good for the movie. I just think that like it doesn't age the best. So for me, I wish I could have put it in my top 5, but there were just so many others that stood out above it. But I am not shocked that it ended up in the listeners'
my top
10,
5. But definitely
yeah,
not 5.
for sure.
Right, yeah.
Not 5 for me.
Top 5, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't taking Love Jones because that's the thing. It's fine, but I don't ever have the urge to go watch Love Jones again. It's like,
right.
I got it. I kind of got it the first time. It's very cut and dry.
Right.
So that's
this
what I'm
is
thinking.
really good. When you haven't really, what am I trying to say? In that era, that was a good film to watch because it's kind of what we kind of know. But now that we're grown-ups and we're adults and we know how healthy relationships work, it's kind of like, it's a little cringy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's always going to be a classic because it's a classic.
Tracy, it feels like it pushes that idea that like you just gotta fight for your woman. You gotta like, she said no, but you gotta if you believe y'all supposed to be together.
Lorenz.
Right, exactly.
Like reel it in.
Yeah,
and it's like no,
Boundaries.
it's okay if we both gone and slept with other people, we get back together, and then we break up again, and it's just like I'm a bridge burner when it comes to exes, so I just don't get it,
baby.
Block,
bridge,
delete,
gone.
block.
Yeah.
Right? Button is pushed.
Blow it up.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly. You like who?
Yeah.
Like
I
don't know.
I don't know who you talking
Sorry
about.
to that man.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic scenes of Love Jones is, of course, when Darius is chasing after Nia Long's character on the train and he's trying to stop her, and we're like, oh God, what if he catches the train? That kind of thing. Those are the moments that people really latch on to as like the big moments in these romance movies.
Classic.
And that's one that once you see it, you don't forget that moment, right? So Love Jones being in the top 5 makes sense. Just not my top 5. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Mari.
Yes.
What else do we have on our list?
Number 3, I'm so excited to talk about because I always do like a rewatch of at least like one movie before we come on here. It could be a movie like I'm normally like I know this movie's gonna be in the top 5, and it's a movie that like I know I want to rewatch again. So I had to do it. I had to rewatch Waiting to Exhale, which is our number 3. I remember, so I of course saw Waiting to Exhale when I was younger. I'm pretty sure. Should not have been.
We should not have been watching.
Guess
not
what?
have been watching it.
We were left alone at like 10. Like today's kids will never understand being alone in the house at 10 years old with the door locked and being told never to answer it for nobody.
Don't open the door for nobody. Don't answer the phone for nobody. Exactly.
And stay at that fridge.
Do your homework, watch TV. So of course we got to watch things we weren't supposed to be watching. And Waiting to Exhale was one of those. And I remember going back and watching Waiting to Exhale when Whitney passed because I was like, oh no, Whitney. And I remember watching it. And then I remember watching it and thinking, whoa, this didn't age well. And I was like,
God.
Yikes. But then I was like, let me watch it again. And I watched it again this week and I was like, no, this is good. Like, I don't know what the cycle was. I don't know why I like I think it's because I had like such a high expectation of it from like thinking of it when I was younger, watching it as an adult for the first time again and being like, that wasn't all that. And then going into it this time thinking like I thought it wasn't all that last time, and then now be like, no, this was a really great like told story based on a book by Terry McMillan. And that as somebody who reads books and always sees books translated to movie format, I thought they did a great job in that respect. I thought they laid out the characters perfectly. I thought they handled inner monologues really well. I thought they jumped from storyline to storyline um in a flawless way, which is sometimes really hard to do when you have an ensemble cast like this, especially a very strong one like this. So I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know what maybe I was just in my feelings, but I loved Waiting to Exhale. I think I ranked it number 2 overall after my rewatch. And of course, it has the single greatest soundtrack to a movie of all time. The Waiting to Exhale soundtrack is literally the best soundtrack
Yeah.
ever made or created, of course, by Kenny Babyface Edmonds. Sorry.
I don't know, Mari. I think we might have to put that to the test one day because the Booty Call soundtrack go hard every time. Okay,
We'll have to do a pod on soundtracks.
Yeah,
we might have
soundtrack.
to
Yeah.
do a little soundtrack thing here going because we one of the other movies on this countdown has a crazy soundtrack and we have not gotten there yet. I'm sure it will come up very soon. Tracy, are you a Waiting to Exhale girl? This is your bag?
Yes. I love
That's
Waiting to
good.
Exhale. It wasn't in my top 5, but it had to be like 6 or 7. I mean, I want to say I'm a very calm person in a relationship, but I have a lot of friends that are quite crazy. Okay, the classic Angela Bassett scene. Come on.
That comes 10 minutes into the movie.
Best part of the film. My favorite part. The distinct memory. That. If I don't have no memory of that movie, it's that scene right there. Angela, I'm gonna watch Angela Bassett and everything. First of all, anyway, she's in.
Easy. Another person who's been on every single top 5 that we've done.
Yep. Classic. Now I haven't seen it in years. But talking about it, I'm about to go and put it on sometime this week because
it's on Hulu.
It's such a classic scene. I mean, the movie is great. Whitney Houston is Whitney Houston. The whole cast.
Scene she improv'd? She said, I think that was another scene that she improv'd. She said, "Get your shit, and get out."
Great movie. Oh yeah, that was so early in the film. Talk about like pull audience in.
2 minutes in. Yep.
Yeah, pull the audience in. Definitely
5 minutes in, he said, "I'm leaving you for her. She don't deserve to be alone on New Year's." I was like, "Oh no!" And I realized that's the same light-skinned man who cheated on Terry in Soul Food.
Not y'all recycling light skins.
Yep, recycling light skin villains. That's why we don't know where he at right now.
Right. Mari, we're talking about Whitney Houston here, but is The Bodyguard a Black romance movie?
Oh.
No. Because it's not a majority Black cast. I wouldn't put it in there.
I don't think so either.
That is a great movie.
It is a good movie. Also a crazy soundtrack, right? But yeah, Waiting to Exhale. I know that everybody loves Waiting to Exhale. It is such a good movie, but it is like the second film that Whitney Houston gives us, right? And people knew Whitney as a singer, but Whitney, the actress, I think no one was ready for her. She could do anything, she really does. And so I'm happy that it made the top 5 for many people. Let me put it up on the screen. As you can see, look at this cast. You got Whitney and Angela Bassett, like we've already talked about them. Loretta Devine, who can do no wrong, honestly, in films, nothing. I always forget that Loretta Devine has just been on television, on movies
for a long time. Yeah. She's been auntie for a long time.
Annie, everybody Annie right there.
Yep.
Lila Rashawn also as Robin Stokes in this movie. But the cast, Gregory Hines, Dennis Haysbert, Leon Robinson, Wendell Pierce, there's so many people in this movie. Wesley Snipes, Giancarlo Esposito. I forgot he was in this movie. There's so many people in this movie that we just will go on to see do such great things. As Mari said, it was adapted by from the Terry McMillan book, the screenplay by Ronald Bass.
I did not know that was from a book.
Man, listen.
I want a
lot of this stuff. Yeah,
go back and watch it. You can tell, and you can tell in a good way. Like you can tell in a good way. They made sure, like, I don't mind like the old school way of adapting books where it's like they gave them like the housewife, like the voiceover. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
Yeah.
Savannah enters the picture and she's like, "I'm single, I'm desperate, and I have no morals," type thing. Like it's that
Holding her speech in her hand.
voiceover.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's that voiceover thing. It's their names in like the lower third for like 2 seconds, and it's just amazing. And it reminds you that Terry McMillan owned the '90s for like a minute
Dude.
there. And I remember my mom loved her books. Loved her books. Had all of them. So I mean, Waiting to Excel, it's such a part of our lexicon. Like if you go back and watch it, like I said, these are those movies, like when we're reviewing classic movies, sometimes I have to really think. I'm like, did this slang come from this movie, or did the writer incorporate the slang that was happening so well into this movie?
Right.
And sometimes you just cannot tell. But I do have a bone to pick with people who have completely just mistaken half of the stuff. We talked about it a little bit, but Chappell with the "That's a good man, Savannah." Like people saying that and not knowing the context. He was indeed not a good man.
Listen, you don't have to know. These are memes now.
Oh
this movie
my
has given us
God.
so many memes, so many gifs. I know y'all see
You
Angela Bassett walking away
raggedy
with that
bitch.
fire blowing up in the background.
Yep.
That you raggedy bitch is another one.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which
I'm
again,
sorry.
not appropriate because she was
Yeah.
not right. He was a crackhead. That was a full-blown crackhead calling a woman a raggedy bitch.
Oh my God.
He smoked crack.
Listen, it happens, you know. Yeah, I don't rank Waiting to Exhale in my top 5 personally. It's just not a movie that I connect with like as a man. You know, it's kind of like
That makes
this is like
sense.
the story for women telling a woman's story, right? And so for me, I'm
Yeah.
kind of like, let y'all cook, you know. But I do understand it's a good movie. It is a great soundtrack, and it does go and win a bunch of awards, a bunch of accolades from I believe a lot of NAACP awards for Whitney Houston, some Image awards, obviously. It is what it is. It's one of the most famous like Black romance movies of all time, but it's also told from a women's perspective of, you know, like being able to exhale, you know.
Right.
Also, Mari mentioned the soundtrack, Sitting Up in My Room by Brandy, you
Oh
know.
my God.
Exhale, you know, shoot,
Yeah,
shoot,
Waiting to Exhale.
you
Yep.
know. Yeah, you know,
Mary J.
classic
Blige,
moment.
when
Yes.
Angela Bassett is doing her thing, I just think, oh, I'm not gonna cry. Yeah.
Yes.
We can't.
I
We
feel
don't wanna
like
get demonetized.
people were acting these movies out in their own lives. You know, like stuff happened and they could just see themselves as Angela Bassett walking
Yeah.
away, burning some down. So yeah,
True.
and
I seen myself a couple
Cutting her
times.
hair.
Ugh.
you ever turn on Not Gonna Cry, Tracy, and just have a moment?
A time or two. A time or two.
Yeah, a time or two. Yeah. Not surprised to see this in the top 5 either.
For sure.
Yeah. Great movie, great soundtrack.
Oh,
Definitely gonna check
great
it out
sound.
again just to get into it. And yeah, put that on the short list easily for the soundtrack
Oh,
bracket that
definitely.
we're probably gonna do. You know, something like
For
that.
sure.
Mari, what number
Yeah.
are we up to? Are we up to number 2?
We are at number 2, sir.
2.
Okay, number 2.
Okay, number 2. This is a favorite of mine. I think it was in my top 3. I think it rounds out my top 3. The Wood is number 2. We were really trying to debate what list to put it on here.
Okay.
Comedy, romance, drama, and The Wood again. I
Kind
think
of a mix.
Yeah, I think what a lot of these romances have going for them is they have a good cast. You have Taye Diggs, Omar Epps, and Richard T. Jones. Yeah, right. And I love The Wood because I never saw it as a romance to me. I saw it as a coming of age story. And I loved watching it as a coming of age story. I've actually seen this movie 50 times. Like it is one of those movies that it is on, I will turn it on. And it's also one of those movies that like really makes me feel like I don't know why. They're doing funny stuff, but if it makes me like it gives me that sense of like nostalgia of like you and your friends hanging out, talking about all the stuff y'all got up to back
Still like
in the day.
90s.
Yeah, very 90s.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. When I don't. Did this come out in the 90s? Did it come
No,
out?
it was a 2000s movie, I believe. I think the
2000.
Yeah.
dropped
Yeah.
in-
But it
yeah.
was like they were flashing back to the 90s, basically.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, it was
Yeah.
99, so it was right there on that cusp.
Okay,
You
there
know,
it is, right on the
Coming,
cusp. Yeah,
coming of
yeah,
age, that's the perfect description. Yeah. I like
yeah.
Mhm.
I that's what I always get with the Wood. It always makes me think of like it makes you think of your own childhood almost.
Yeah.
Was this one of your movies here, Chappelle?
Let me see if I got my list up somewhere. Because so here's my thing with the Wood. Like Mari said, we were really trying to figure out where to put it because Mari was gonna get this on one of them lists, come hella high water. Like, it's a drama. I said,
Whatever.
He said it's a drama, Tracy. I said, where? Where? I still have not seen the drama. If the drama in the room with us right now,
Yeah, I would. I mean, I feel like you could put it in that category, but I feel like it was
we
more
were putting
funny.
out then comedy. Yeah, we were
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah,
comedy.
for sure.
And then he wouldn't let me
Listen.
put on comedy.
We got similar feedback from some of our listeners about other films as well. Auntie Ashcraft said, "If Sister Act 2 is a comedy, then why do I cry every time I watch it? So much drama.
Why are you crying in Sister Act?
Listen, these people like these movies, like Mari liking The Wood and calling it a drama. I don't know, but yeah, The Wood was number 4 on my list. I've seen it a bunch of times, but I think in the way that I cannot relate to Waiting to Exhale, I can relate to The Wood, right? Like this is very much a story of boys becoming men and finding love and
Yeah,
it was definitely a boys movie.
yeah, so like if Waiting to Exhale was for the women, this was definitely for the boys. But yeah, look at the cast. This is a quintessential 90s cast. Omar Epps, Richard T. Jones, Tay Diggs. Richard Jones probably does not get enough credit for just being one of the guys that are in those movies, you know.
Not
but
to
it takes
mention he was like the bad guy in every like stage play. If you ever did the black stage play circuit,
for sure.
Like, when the villain shifted from light skin to dark skin, he was the go-to dark skin. He really was.
Listen, they had him on speed dial. Hey, you know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Yep.
Put on your white beater and come on, come to work. But yeah, The Wood, story of Mike and his friends as they lose their virginity and go on to find love and end up at a wedding because one of their boys is getting married. The women in this cast also are iconic. Sanaa Lathan, Lisa Ray, as well, Tamala Jones as Tanya. There's so many people in this movie. I think Melinda Williams somehow transforms into Sanaa Lathan. Right, and that is just very odd to me. It always has been.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I really should put up a picture of Melinda just so y'all can see the transformation. Let me see if I can find
beautiful.
Yeah, but she does not look like Sanaa Lathan.
But they don't look nothing alike.
They don't look similar at all.
No, but we were doing what we needed to do, y'all. We really were. So we were just trying to get the cast to work. Then. It was a different time. We did not have a lot of options, but Melinda Williams also an underrated it girl from the 90s and 2000s in black movies. And so shout out to her too. But The Wood, number 2. I'm shocked. I had it on my list at
I didn't think it'd be that high, but I think it'd be 5.
Yeah, I think for me, maybe it's like a good all-around movie. But when I think of romance movies, this is not the one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I mean, it was number 3 for me, and apparently a whole bunch of people agreed. So I guess it is a top romance movie because it comes in at number 2. So there's
officially in the genre.
Mari stuffing the ballot, Tracy. You see it?
No.
Let me see the result.
Listen, if I was stuffing the ballot, what's number 1 would not be number 1. You can believe that.
Okay. Well,
to say the least.
Let's see what number 1 is.
I think it's time, y'all. I think it's time to get into our number 1 top 5 greatest black romance movies. Mari, you seem upset. I think I know you well enough to know where you're going with this one. But for the listeners, if you could please tell us what the number 1 movie is.
I'm mad because there's just so much stuff going on, but this is also number 1. I told you guys not to do this. I think y'all did it on purpose because I said not to do it. So, of course, number 1 is Love and Basketball.
Yes!
Of course it is.
Of course
it is. I knew it was too.
Tracy, was this your number 1 romance movie?
This was my number 1.
It was mine too, girl.
like, I know it's so much like drama around it now, but so I play basketball. Okay, I want to be in love.
I'm
This was
boycotting.
a movie. I was like, I'm gonna go. I thought I was gonna go to the. I was playing on JV. I thought I was going to the WNBA. I thought I was gonna marry me and MMA. I thought we was gonna play basketball together. I was just like, this the life. This gonna be my life.
This is it.
No,
This is you.
it wasn't. I thought it
You was
was.
Monica.
It's not.
I pray every day for my people to be released from the hold that is love and
Man,
Mari.
What? I don't get it. I love it.
Mari,
I love this movie.
I
I've seen this 11 times.
I looked at the rankings, y'all. I was looking at the list, and I said, it's crazy because that movie is absurd. It's nuts. It's toxic. It's foolish. But guess what? I watch it before I watch any of the other movies. I watch it every time. If it's on, I'm gonna watch it.
Put on.
Every time. I had to separate myself from knowing, like, it's a crazy story, but ain't no way I'm not gonna watch it. It's number one, man. It's number one, Mari. Now, Mari, this is a love story, okay? This is the story of Monica, okay? Monica, who has she's in love with one thing, basketball, but at a very early age, she finds her next door neighbor, Quincy, and they strike up a friendship that will later turn into a romance that will lead to her playing in the WNBA and him taking care of the kids and probably being in the NBA or maybe not, depending on the day, who knows.
Once he blew out his knee and had no other options and hitched his wagon.
He like, I guess.
Basically a Cinderella story. Mari, what is your issue with love and basketball?
Everything. It's so toxic. It's so toxic. How are you deflowering your next door neighbor when you have a girlfriend? Like, how are you playing somebody for their heart and straight up just block them? Like, I just can't do this. And again, he like him finally give in and be like, okay, I guess now that I have no career, now that all of my options are really gone,
I'll love you.
I guess I'll love you now. Get out of here! Get out of here!
He still has
Black woman. What's their favorite song? What's their favorite movie? It's Love and Basketball on Facebook. I remember going in college. It's always Love and Basketball.
It's the most entertaining movie. It really is. I think that's what it is. Is it the best love story? No, absolutely not. Like, if you're in this situation, please seek help. Stand up. But as far as watching the movie, you talked about Waiting to Exhale having the best soundtrack. I put Love and Basketball up against it every time.
I don't know.
Every time.
I'm now traumatized by this woman's work.
Listen, exactly.
Every time I hear that song, I'm in another place.
You know exactly where to go to, and you know what place.
Exactly. You know, exactly. Quickly.
Yeah. Look.
That's why I'm tired now.
Look. One of my friends once told me, she said, I just really knew my first time would be just like that. I was like, ma'am.
I swear on everything. I was just like, why the music ain't playing? What?
Right.
What's going on?
Exactly. Yeah. So many people had really bad expectations.
Nah, for real. For real.
For their first time.
Definitely thought that's how life was going to go. It did not. It did not.
Mari, I'm sorry, but you're just wrong about this one. You just are. You're on the wrong side of history. Like,
what are you talking about?
I acknowledge
that basketball is.
I acknowledge that it's crazy, but it is the best one of these movies. It is so entertaining. Everything from the struggle with Monica,
you get love, you get drama.
Right.
Come
all
on,
the drama, the sports drama alone. Monica thinking she finna be hot stuff on the new team. She come out and she hitting the shots and holding her hand up in the air. You got to keep it up there too. You know what I'm saying? Keep your hand up there till you're tired of holding it up there. You know, she only made the team because that other girl got pregnant and had to leave. You know, like boom, boom, boom. These are quotable moments.
If it was just that part, I would actually like this movie. If it was literally just Monica going through the basketball season, honestly.
No, you're wrong.
I wish they would do a remake. Not a remake, but 20 years later, and then have them be parents. Oh, that would be. I would like to see how that would pan out.
You want to see him be a deadbeat?
I do.
Okay,
I do a little bit.
They feel in love.
I think he's gonna be a deadbeat. I don't think he's gonna be no deadbeat.
People can change. People can change.
He's gonna try to live his life through his kids. Come on, we know how this goes.
Right.
Exactly. Oh yeah, his father's.
Yep.
Listen, if she the breadwinner in the family, they only making $55K anyway if she playing in the WNBA. So look. They gonna have to, and that they're gonna have to they're gonna have to do something. I'm just saying.
Now, why you over here? Why you
pay the
women telling the truth?
Pay the women. Pay the women. Real. We really thought the WNBA was next. You know what I'm saying? Like we really thought, like, okay, the world's behind the WNBA, and they lied.
Still gotta go to work.
That's the biggest lie of Loving Basketball.
Car salesman.
Yep, that is the biggest lie. Well, other than the virginity thing, but yeah,
for sure.
Pay them women. Also, quickly, Mari, we have to talk about the biggest moment of the movie. It is the wedding is approaching. He's at his home, and this woman, his ex, shows up. It's like, hey, let's play basketball one time. You want to hoop? Yeah.
Boy.
What now? This man about to get married to Tyra Banks in like a week. And so he like, let me see what you want to play basketball about. So what we playing for? Let's play for your heart. Oh, okay. Well, that's cool. Tracy, why this man dunk on that girl?
I was like, I know you lying. Oh my God. He dunked on that girl in her face. And I know the fiance after in the blind's like, yeah, I know that's right.
You better know. Yeah.
What do you say? What do you do? The fact that you even went outside to go play, is that an argument or? I don't know, man. It was good though. It was drama. It was good though.
Tracy, look at it through the lens of Tyra Banks' character. Now, she didn't look through the blinds and watch this man just demolish Monica in one-on-one. She's just out there embarrassed. Just, oh my God, I love you so much. Shooting basketball.
She thinking she won.
Dunking on her. And she thinking, yeah, like, okay, that's it. Yeah, get her again. Get her for me. And then he says, best 2 out of 3. Boy, I about fell out. I said, what? She lost. She don't deserve your heart, King. Oh.
Boy, Monica would have blew her knee out messing with me. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna be no round 2.
You would have both y'all. Tanya Harding.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It would have been a situation. Solution. Angela Bassett would have been activated. You know.
Burn it down. Listen, Mari, they played for each other's heart. What else do you want in a love story? She lost, so good, and he still gave her another chance. How giving this man is. You don't think this is the one she needs to be with?
Oh yeah. Oh no, he definitely didn't need to humble her before he so graciously
his ego had to
grace her right with his presence.
I can still hoop.
I know. He said, I ain't no punk. I got you though, straight up.
But listen, this is real life, okay? So my fiance, he plays basketball.
Real life.
In that situation, this is real life, okay? My fiance played basketball all his life. If I go out there and hoop with him today, he will blow my knee out if he has to. It's the competition. So I get that sense. I get it.
It's real life because this movie made this real life. This movie is what made everybody think they were gonna fall in love and playing basketball.
It is.
It's the movie's fault.
It's definitely the movie's fault.
It was so good though.
But
it was really good.
I'm sorry that I wanted more for Monica.
And that's okay. Come on, King. That's not what we got.
I wanted more for her than she wanted first.
Exactly.
Monica made a Who Did I Marry series.
Right. Oh no.
Right.
Listen, we say it all the time. You cannot want these things more than they wanted for themselves. So Monica does not get out of the relationship. She stays with Q. They go on to live happily ever after while she works in plays in the NBA, the WNBA. I mean, and they live happily ever after. Mari, that's our top 5. I know you're happy.
Our top 5. Yes. That was fun. That was a very fun discussion.
I'm not mad at that list.
Not mad at that list at all, but we do have honorable mentions that did not crack the top 5. Mari, talk about it. Let's go. What else we got on here?
So number 6, we have Moonlight, which I haven't gotten a chance to see. I was gonna see if I could try and watch it before we recorded, but I couldn't. So I really want to see Moonlight.
It's good. I didn't finish it.
I know.
I'm literally 30 minutes left till like I finish it, but I'm telling you, like the way I didn't want to put it down. Of course, I had to tend to my kids, and they was getting in the way. But it's so good. Like I'm talking about, like I don't feel like looking off the screen, so I definitely recommend it.
I want to watch Moonlight,
and that's without finishing the movie, and it's good. Yeah,
it took 2016 by storm. You know, it was just a movie that everybody was talking about. Won Academy Award for Best Picture, along with Best Supporting Actor. And Best Adapted Screenplay as well. It was released as the Yeah,
I think it was that long ago.
exactly. It's been a while, right?
And watching this, it don't feel like it was 2016.
Oh, okay. So I haven't seen it either, and so this is definitely going to have to go on our list of things that we gotta watch.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, it was
Recommend
the
it.
first LGBTQ themed mass marketed feature film with an all black cast, and was at its time of release the second lowest grossing film domestically behind the Hurt Locker to win the Oscar. So this movie, despite people not going out and seeing it for whatever reasons, boom, it still made an impact. It still won the Oscars that it won. And it was just, yeah, it's just a movie that you hear people talking about all the time. And if you haven't seen it, I definitely recommend you go see it, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go check it out.
For sure.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
I know it's on one of these streaming services. I saw it. I was like, I'm going to watch it.
If not, I got a link.
Okay, bet. Things that happen at the kickback. Okay,
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah. Mari, what's next on our list?
Another Terry McMillan book adaptation, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, starring the amazing Angela Bassett.
This was in my top 5.
Okay,
I believe it was in mine as well. Yes.
All right, tell us about Stella getting her groove back.
Tracy, you wanna?
Long story short, Stella got her groove back. I mean, her relationship was over. Don't tell me, I can't remember all of it.
I think her husband cheated on her or something like that.
Yeah, so she had to get her life back. So she went out and had herself a hot girl summer, and
in Jamaica.
It was a movie.
Yes.
You know,
so Angela Bassett as Stella goes to Jamaica to, get her life back together after her marriage falls apart. She finds a very young man played by Taye Diggs, and he basically slowly opens her up to love again.
He did open her up to love.
You bet she did. Slowly.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
I mean, the movie is great, and it's punctuated by Taye Diggs' very bad accent.
He is not Jamaican.
Oh, the accent was terrible.
It was horrendous. But also that this was based on a true story, because Terry McMillan herself, the author, this is okay. Yes, it is based on a true story. Terry McMillan went to Jamaica, found herself a husband and a lover, brought him back, and in around 2000, check this out for me, Chappell, 2005, 2006, 2007. They were on the Oprah circuit because, come to find out, he was gay, and he kind of used her for the visa. And so Terry McMillan was all on it. It was a huge thing. It was a huge thing.
Are we getting can we get a part 2?
There's no
no, because I would watch that movie. I would be seated. in the theater. So let's see how Stella got her groove back, and then what happened after.
Check it out. Check out what I'm saying. Google Terry McMillan's hitting the guy who's it is her ex-husband now. Yes,
Jonathan Plummer.
I was
6 years into the marriage.
Girl, you ain't know, but you know what? That's rude. But yes,
right.
rude.
Underreported. 40-year-old woman goes to Jamaica and comes back with a 20-year-old husband. Underreported. Yes, we're not gonna talk about it. In 2024, people gonna ask questions. People gonna say, "Ma'am,
I'm asking questions." Yeah,
right. Okay,
we want to leave that movie back in its time.
Yeah, it happened when it happened.
I think it was. Well, I think people were very naive back then. I think we're much wiser now about people, marrying foreigners so that they can get access
for sure
to coming back to the States. I mean, there's whole TV shows about it. So
right.
But for what it is, the movie itself, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, was really great. It was. I think my mom personally took this movie to heart. It has a second home in Jamaica basically, and she loves going there.
She gets her groove back over and over and over again.
Right. So this is one of those movies definitely female empowerment, a woman going through things, but she knows that she is gonna survive it and stuff, and all of that. So I like How Stella Got Her Groove Back. I think I ranked it as number 4 within my own top 5, but it's sitting here at number 7.
All right. And what is next on the list at number 8, Mari?
Nutty Professor, which
Hey.
again, somewhat controversial.
I want to put that
Nutty
on my
Professor is
comedy
my number
list.
5. Well, I tried, but
That's in comedy. I feed
Yeah.
somebody.
but
I don't
it's
think
definitely
I don't
comedy.
think I kicked Nutty Professor off the list, but
You
it
did.
is a comedy. I don't think so. It is a comedy. I ain't do it. It's a comedy, but it's also a love story. It's about Sherman Klump. He he's a big guy and he goes and gets skinny and he decides that, oh yeah, like now I'm skinny, I'm sexy. You know, people gonna like me.
Yeah.
And we see him kind of deal with his self-esteem issues as he pursues his love interest in the film. What could we talk about Eddie Murphy every countdown, but honestly, the man can do everything. He really can do everything. And
Yeah.
yeah, as far as romances goes, not the most romantic movie, but this movie is funny as hell. Oh my god.
It's so
It's
funny.
hilarious.
Gave us
It's a classic
Hercules,
for sure.
Hercules, Hercules, like all those. I believe Dave Chappelle is in this movie as well with his shitlocks.
Jada Pinkett plays the love interest.
It is love interest, and Eddie Murphy plays at least 7 characters. So yeah, another iconic film. But yeah, I'm not shocked that it's not in the top 5 romances. It was in my top 5 though.
Yeah, it was in mine too.
All right,
Next
what's
up,
next?
we have Brown Sugar, which I pretty sure I ranked very low because I have not seen this movie in God knows how long.
You supposed to skip it.
I mean, let me see. I think I
You tanked my fave.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, but yeah. I don't know where it's at. It's at 10, maybe. I don't know, but I haven't seen it in forever. I can't even remember what's the premise. They're like DJs or something, like radio DJs.
They fell in love with hip hop when they fell in love with each other.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
This is an homage to hip hop.
It was good, but I couldn't remember it.
This is like my second favorite romance.
Really?
Yeah, I love me some rap. Love hip hop. But also the cast, as we've been talking about, these two people have already come up before. Taye Diggs and Sanaa Lathan. They actually make reference to Sanaa Lathan being a Terry McMillan character in this film because she down bad for her best friend. She loves Taye Diggs. They never gave it a real shot because she was always so worried about work. And so he's moving on to go get married. He ends up marrying Vanessa Williams, I believe, her character. And then she will end up going to marry Boris Kodjoe. Both of them get married and move on, but they never quite move on. Like it's one of those things where it was very obvious from jump that it was Nicole Ari Parker. Obviously, Nicole Ari Parker and Boris Kodjoe playing alongside each other in this movie, leading to their marriage and stuff like that. But anyway, you got Sanaa Lathan, who's always been in love with him. He's always been in love with her. They've gotten married. They've gotten married to different people, but they keep getting drawn back to each other through their love of hip hop. So I love it. I think it is toxic as well. There's definitely some cheating going on.
I was about to say, so Home Wrecking the musical?
Definitely.
In a way, right? In a way, if anything, Nicole Ari was the homewrecker, and she just didn't know it. Like she showed up to a love story that she thought was a friendship, and they thought was a friendship too. But everybody else knew that these two people were in love. And so when the night before their marriage, him and Sanaa Lathan kiss, and they're like, "Oh no, we gotta shut that down. Like that can't happen. Nope, we're not doing it." And so he goes on and gets married, and later on, she does
always
as well.
kissing on somebody.
Always
the day before
he got a problem.
Yeah,
he loved ruining the marriage.
He got a problem.
Love it.
Check on Taye Diggs. But yes, later on they will go on to like I said, once they're both she's about to get married. He starts looking at her and thinking like, you don't want to do this. In the meantime, he gets cheated on by Nicole Ari Parker, and they end up going out to celebrate my divorce. If you've seen the scene, and so ultimately hip hop draws them back together. Star-studded cast again. Queen Latifah in this movie as well. That's another underrated queen of rom-coms that we haven't really talked about, Dana Owens. But yeah, I love Brown Sugar. I think it's number 2 on my list. Yeah, you know I gotta pay homage to the queen every time. But I love Brown Sugar. I do. I think that it's underrated. I think that it's probably what people think Love and Basketball is. But you couldn't call it Love and Hip Hop. It's already been taken. So that's about it for Brown Sugar, Mari.
Love and Hip Hop would have been a great name for that.
It would have been a great name. We've wasted it on the drama with Lil Scrappy and his baby moms.
No mess.
Oh, mess.
Next up is Atlanta, which I've never seen.
It's pronounced ATL.
Mari. Oh, my bad. My bad.
Did you really call that movie Atlanta?
I did. You did.
Girl, I know you lying.
She did. You heard it.
I'm like, wait, I don't remember seeing that on the list. Girl.
I'm tired. ATL. That's
tired.
I am very tired.
Oh my God.
Atlanta. Next up, Atlanta.
ATL. I loved ATL. I love ATL.
Man.
T.I. was in his acting bag. I give him props. Overall, I feel, of course, toxic. Big Boy had a classic scene. I love me some Big Boy. This was an overall great movie. You need to go see it, Mari.
Was it a romance?
It's good.
I'm not a fan of T.I., so I think that's why I didn't.
I don't like T.I. today either, but
he doesn't age well. He doesn't.
He doesn't.
He did. But T.I. was at the height of his game, though. T.I. album run. He was in the movies. You know what I'm saying? T.I. He used to have it all, and I think ATL is standing on business. That right, exactly.
Back then.
Yeah, some people would probably call it more of a coming of age film, but there's definitely some romance involved.
I'll give you that.
We got T.I. We got cast with T-Boz is in it. Lauren London.
I forgot she was in there.
Outkast is in there. Yeah, well, you know, Nunu, because she always got
T-Boz.
You know what I'm saying? Is in there as well, Lauren London. Yeah, so it's a lot of that going on. But yeah, it's about Atlanta. Spoiler for Mari. And I think that this is really one of those films that like it gets played in the Black household a lot, but like I said, it probably falls lower on the list because it doesn't get into. It's not like a typical romance story, but there is romance involved. So I see why it's on the list, but I also see why it lands where it does land.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up is Why Did I Get Married?
Now that's interesting.
If we want to talk about romance and trauma, and
that's trauma.
It is.
But isn't it romance?
It's good though. Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
It's one of the
yes.
Yes, one of Tyler Perry's movies. Excuse me. That I can actually. Like I actually do enjoy watching because enjoy watching.
But it was good. It was entertaining.
It's very entertaining especially when you watch that dinner scene for the first time and everybody's
just
dragging, confessions out the yin yang. It's so drama filled. It's so good, but it's like making that lady walk.
That was nuts.
Through the snow.
Oh my God.
Sheila was going through hell, y'all. Sheila was going through it.
And but once Sheila got her life together and Jill Scott was doing that laugh cry, we were all in. Like, you know?
Yeah. Also, iconic performance from Janet Jackson. Tracy, what do you think about Janet Jackson as an actress? Yeah, because she shows up in Poetic Justice, but here she is in Why Did I Get Married, and she's giving you drama. Perfect penny.
I love Janet. I feel like I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I love Janet Jackson. I feel like she's not really acting. This feels like a role that she would be playing, honestly.
The Janet Jackson
but overall, this movie was really good because it wasn't just concentrating on just one relationship. And I love the fact that it was different relationships and different types of relationship. You know, somebody cheating, you know, here goes some insecurities about how somebody, you know, it's so many different things. This probably should have been a little bit higher now that I'm talking about it on my list, like, but overall
drama too, right? Like,
yeah, that probably should have been high. It probably was like my 8 or 7, but that might have made my list actually.
I always get this one confused with Why Did I Get Married 2? Because Why Did I Get Married 2 was even like it was.
Why Did I Get Married 2
that was outrageous. It didn't make no sense. Yeah, it was really bad.
Yeah, it was mid.
I was like, what is happening? Like, well, how did this go from like Why Did I Get Married seem like at least semi like reasonable and relatable? Like Why Did I Get Married 2 is just like, why are we just making people go through the most traumatic things that we can?
I wouldn't go back and watch 2. I wouldn't go back and watch 2. I would go back and watch this one though. I've seen Why Did
Yeah.
I Get Married? Probably a handful of times though. So, but the second one,
Yeah.
mid.
Yeah, Tyler Perry does it again with this one. Why Did I Get
I
Married?
wish he
is
would
a
stay out of
very
his movies. I'm Tyler
he-
Perry. But
yeah,
that's another
him as
story.
Dr. Terry Brock here. You know, it's
He
you
just
see
needs to
Tyler
stay at the
Perry in a
house.
movie, either that or I don't want to sound rude, but just keep being Medea. You know, like I don't need to see Doctor. You know, because
He
I
just
see
need to
him
he
and I
just
hear
send a
Medea.
wallet. Spend the money.
Yeah,
That's it.
I just
Stay behind the scenes.
see him and I still hear Medea. So that's why I just
Medea
like, you might
forever.
as well- right, Medea for life. You know, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
Well,
here. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say we will be reviewing his newest movie, Mea Culpa, next week.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Medea. Was it Medea's Having a Funeral? Because I think that's some on Netflix very soon. But whatever.
Is it? Oh,
I did
Yeah,
not
I
see
think
that.
so. Yeah,
That sounded terrible.
it's called Medea Family Funeral. It's coming to Netflix, but it's a 2019 film, so it already happened. But I mean, you know, if Mari wants
I
to
was
talk
gonna say,
about
I don't think
it,
I've seen that one.
Yeah, it sounds like Mari.
like
wants
I
to
said,
talk about it,
we're doing Mea Culpa. We'll let you know how that goes. Kelly Rowland.
Pass. Yeah.
Okay. Malik Yoba is in this. Someone we haven't talked about much thus far. Michael Jai White as Marcus, who has one of the more iconic scenes alongside Tasha Smith, who I used to always call that really loud lady from all the movies, but now I love her and the ground that she walks
eats
on.
every scene she's in.
Every time. Richard T. Jones is back as a villain. Shocker. Shocker to nobody.
Yeah.
Jill Scott
villain.
as Sheila, our main protagonist. And then, of course, a surprise cameo at the very end of the movie. Plot twist, it's The Rock, y'all.
It's The Rock.
So it's The Rock. Dwayne Johnson shows up. Why Did I Get Married? It's a classic black romance movie. Whether it's romantic or not, you be the judge of it. But Mario, what else do we have on our list?
Okay. Just Right. The Queen makes her appearance. I think Just Right ends up at number 12 because it's a good movie, but I think it's also more comedy, and I don't think it's seen as a classic. But Just Right stars Queen Latifah, Anna Owens, and Common, and like Queen Latifah, if I believe correctly, is like a physical therapist, and he's a basketball player, a star basketball player who hurts his knee. And I think another thing is like, who's looking at Common and be like, okay, sir, yeah, you're a star basketball player.
I feel like the most chemistry they had was in this picture. For me, like it was a cool movie, but it's just like it was a disconnect. I don't know if it was just me, but I was just like, I watched it once and never went back.
I think she's
too.
so good. She's so good at playing like
great actress.
Yeah, she's so successful, and it's like the men always chasing her. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I feel like she could do better than Common. It's just my opinion.
She ends up with Mos Def and Brown Sugar. You know, he's chasing her.
Yeah,
and so that
true.
happens. But yeah,
Queen
Latifah. And another one, you know, this movie was nominated for a handful of NAACP Image Awards, including winning one for Outstanding Writing in a Motion Picture. But this is a movie that I've seen a bunch of times because for some reason, it's just always on. You know, like I think it had a good run. That and Last Holiday, Queen Latifah had a little rom-com.
Oh yeah, Last Holiday stay on.
Right, Bringing Down the House was another one. Queen Latifah.
Oh yeah, I love Bringing Down.
I love Bringing Down the House.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
you get that Queen Latifah
blacker.
If it was a little bit blacker, it would have been the one. Okay,
that might have been on the list for sure. Yeah,
shout out to Missy Pyle. Yeah. I will never forget that fight scene between Queen Latifah and Missy Pyle.
She just Tybo. Yeah. Listen, all cool points out the window. You got me straight tripping, boo. Ain't that what it was?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Mari, is there anything else on our list we haven't talked about?
There's 3 more. But I think we can put these up really quickly. Deliver Us from Eva. I actually really like Deliver Us from Eva. I think it just doesn't get played. It's not one of those movies that's always on TV for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's some licensing or something, because I actually really like this. I think what I like it more is, it's the black version of Taming of the Shrew. It's based off the it's loosely based off the William Shakespeare stage play, but it stars Gabrielle Union and LL Cool J and a whole host of other people. Essence Atkins, Megan Good, I think is back there. But basically, the premise is Eva is like the older sister and to a gaggle of younger sisters, and the younger sisters can't date until they get rid of Eva. Eva has to be they gotta distract her so that they can
Got
date.
occupy her.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
They get out of business. Yep.
so their menses basically hire LL Cool J to seduce Eva, and it's so funny. I really like this movie. I think it's
Me
in
too.
like my it's number
Yeah.
6 for me. So I really like Deliverance from Eva, but it just doesn't get enough play, enough action.
I agree. LL Cool
loved
J,
it.
who still has me blocked on Twitter to this day. But
Why did he
LL, if you
block
listen,
you?
You deserved it. Whatever you
he's
did, you deserved
he's
it.
Do you
petty.
remember what you
Listen,
said?
I didn't say nothing too. I just wanted to know who. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, I remember.
listen,
It's another
unblock me,
story for the
LL.
time.
I love this movie. It's in my top 5. I think it's number 5 on my list or something like that.
Yeah,
It's a
I
great
love
movie.
Deliverance
It
from Eva.
really
It's a
is.
really good movie.
They hire him to show that, like, to seduce Eva, and then all the rest of the sisters start realizing that, hey, this guy is dope.
Wait a
Why ain't
minute.
y'all more like him? Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
all right, Mari, what's next?
They're like, you're doing too good.
Right.
Yeah, you starting to embarrass us, you know?
Yeah.
Love Don't Cost a Thing. Love Don't Cost a Thing. Christina Milian, Nick Cannon. A movie that I do like. I do enjoy. I remember
Coming
seeing
of
it in
age
theater.
for sure.
Yeah, like it was. Yeah, exactly. And I remember being in like high school watching or middle school watching this, and like this is kind of
Yes.
funny. And it
Cute.
Love Don't Cost a Thing. This is a remake of a remake of a remake. Like the
Yeah.
original Love Don't Cost a Thing was like in the 50s or something like that, and then it was a remake, and
Yeah.
then this is like the black remake, and it's
Mhm.
fun. It's a fun movie. It's a
Cute.
fun movie. Yeah, very cute.
Mm-hmm.
A little
It used to
awkward
be.
now, I guess, because they were
I
dating and
like
stuff.
it. No, I like
Great.
this movie a lot. It's too low on this list. It's a trusty. It's a good love story. It's cute AF, but it is very much Can't Buy Me Love, right? So it's like this nerd
Yes.
who
Yes.
has to he has to step up his game because he wants to holler at the hot chick in school, and so he has to pretend to be somebody he's not. He's gotta pretend that he's like a baller and stuff like that, and he wins her over, only to find out that he's been hiding who he really is. He kind of gets caught in his head. He gets too egotistical at some point, feels like he's too big for his britches, and then they have a fallout. Ultimately, the question is, does love actually cost anything? You find out in that movie for sure. I like it. Tracy, this is one of your faves?
Yes. It was higher on my list. I don't think it was my
Me too.
5, but it had to be like 7 or 8 or something.
got
But
outvoted.
I'm a fan of it. That was in my coming of age time in my life. So it was cute.
Exactly.
Nick Cannon was big when that came out.
Cute.
Drumline wasn't too far after that. I'm a gigolo. He was popular then. So it was it. It was it.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
most iconic
I
dance
love
scene
it.
we talked about so far. This thing right
Yep.
here on the beach.
Yep.
Yeah, like, look, it happened. We loved it. We was all doing it. I don't care if you listen to this, you was doing it too.
Show was for sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mari,
Classic.
what is the
Good.
last movie on the list?
And then finally, About Last Night. Again, I get this movie confused with Think Like a Man. The only thing I remember about it is
It's so
they played
closely related.
they play that John Legend song over and over and over again. I think it's because yeah, I think it's because Kevin Hart is in both of them, and I just don't remember. I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah, I
I
seen it.
love
It was fine.
Michael Ealy. He's so fun. Mm.
Yeah. The people who they like. It's fine.
I do. I do.
Look, Regina Hall, ladies and gentlemen.
I love
the
Regina
queen.
Hall.
You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Woo.
She's
Okay.
hilarious. I love her.
We talked about her in The Best Man, and here we are talking about her again in this movie. I think she steals the show in this movie. She is the best thing about this movie, and it's not close.
Yes.
1000%.
That being said, I'm not shocked that it's last on the list.
No.
I'm not. It just
Not
doesn't
at all.
have
Yeah.
that staying power that some of these movies have had. Some of these movies have been out for 20, 30 years, and we still talking about them. About Last Night, it's like coming up on like 15 years or something like that. So it's like,
yeah.
not
It's very forgettable. It's a very forgettable.
Very forgettable. Yeah.
Yeah, but a black romance story nonetheless. This was fun, y'all.
Yay.
If you could give us the rundown, what are our top 5 greatest black romances of all time, and why do you agree with the number 1? Go.
The number 1 top 5 black romances as voted by you. Love and Basketball, number 1. The Wood is number 2. Waiting to Excel, number 3. Love Jones is number 4, and finally
Okay.
Boomerang is number 5.
Solid
Okay.
list. Solid list.
Yeah.
Solid list. It definitely makes me
Great
want to go
list.
rewatch Love and Basketball again for the billionth time because it's so funny. It's
Go watch
so
Boomerang. Jesus.
yeah,
I'm gonna
definitely
definitely
need
watch
to watch
Boomerang for
Boomerang.
sure.
We need to watch Moonlight, and we need to really be
Yeah.
keeping tabs
Yes.
of these movies that we need to watch.
Yeah.
Right.
But in the meantime, Tracy, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having
Thank
you
you for
here at the
having me.
Kickback.
I had a good
Yes,
time.
I'm
Yes.
glad. I'm glad. I'm glad. We have to have you back for definitely in Halloween time. We got to
Halloween.
talk about
For
Leprechaun.
sure.
Yeah, Leprechaun in the Hood and Back to the Hood because that's a thing as well. Yeah, both
Tales
of those
from
movies.
the Hood, I believe.
Oh,
Tales
from the
from
Hood.
the Hood.
We might
Oh
just have
my
a
God.
Halloween or something like that
Hood
in
Can
October.
I
Let's
just say
just
this real quick?
yeah.
My
Oh,
Yeah, go
parents, for
ahead.
the longest, had that picture where it had all them little black people, and I saw
Yeah.
Tales
Yeah.
from the Hood, so I just pictured them coming out of the. I'm still. They
Mm-mm.
still have it to this day. I hate
I
it.
get
Yes.
I'm still scared. I'm 34 and I'm still terrified.
Well, look, we might
Trauma.
have to deal with that and cross that bridge when it comes to it
I
in
might need to talk
October.
to my therapist.
Yeah, listen, we all might. Just based off of what we talked about with these romance stories, we've been fed a lot of information that might have shaped the
A
way we
lot.
look at the world. Because if you still looking
For
at Love and
sure.
Basketball like that's your dream love story, again,
It's
seek
a
help.
problem.
It's a
Something's
problem.
up.
Yeah.
Major problem.
Tracy, tell
Yes.
everybody where they can find you, what you up to, and what you got coming up in your world.
Yes. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, all that at Tracy J, Tracy TRICIE JAY. I am on Who All Gonna Be Their podcast. And you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that at Who All There. We are coming up soon. We've been talking about Traders. We are gonna be on Survivor, Big Brother, and any other thing we just feel like watching. Please follow, like, and subscribe. Yeah, that's what's coming up for us.
Thank you
That's
again.
it.
I can't wait to listen. I'll be in the chat.
Of course. And y'all, of course, are welcome anytime. Y'all, y'all hear us talking, y'all know the door is always open. It's not even a question. Y'all family.
you.
We appreciate that. Much love to you. Stay black, as they say on Love.
For sure. I only
Mari,
can be.
that's all we got. That's all we got.
We all we got.
Mari, this was fun.
Yeah.
Tell us all what you got going on, what you're up to, what we have coming up next. What you got?
Of course, every week, me and Sarah Carradine bring True Crime Tuesdays to RHAP over on the Crime Scene podcast. We just dropped the episode covering Lover, Stalker, Killer. It's a Netflix documentary featuring Kimberly from A Date with Dateline. And me, Sarah, and Kimberly had a really fun time talking about Lover, Stalker, Killer. So you can go to robhasawebsite.com/crime feed in order to subscribe there and listen to Crime Scene wherever you get your podcasts. Me and Matt Scott have had an amazing week of collaborations over on the Wrestling Wrap Up podcast. We were just talking about championship belts and tier listing them. So if you like a good tier list, we were joined by the championship culture guys of Wrestle Realm. And we had such an in-depth talk about championship belts. I learned so much and it was amazing. So I would say go watch it over on the Rob Has a podcast YouTube page, because we were Brandon the belt guy had like full belts that he was like modeling like Vanna White on the show and talking about it. Yeah, it was great talking about the stitching, the details, all of that. So if you're an aesthetic type of person, that's definitely a podcast for you. So you can also go to subscribe by going to robhasawebsite.com/wrestling feed to subscribe to that as well. And we were on 3 count trivia. Me and Matt did we were in a trivia tournament, a wrestling trivia tournament, and so you can find that on my Twitter. You can go to @MariTalksTooMuch. That's 2 like the number 2, where I posted the 3 count trivia. We had so much fun. Me and Matt doing trivia is just amazing. So yeah, that's it for me. Everything else, like I said, follow me on Twitter and I'll repost it.
All
Chanel,
right.
what about
And
you?
you know me, still here churning out content for the kickback. Recently, people might have gotten in their feed or on their YouTube page. The first podcast I ever did with Rob Sister about the Enneagram. I was nervous. It was baby Chappell. He was new in these streets. The microphone was a little scary, but I did my thing, y'all. So go check that out. Leave some comments. Let me know how I did. Yeah, and then send me any questions you might have about that, because I don't mind talking about it now. So I'm a little bit older, a little bit more mature. We can discuss the Enneagram a little bit. But yeah, check that out on our YouTube page and all our content on recapkickback.com. Over on Suits Yourself, our Suits Rewatch podcast with me and Rob Ciccinino. If you go to suitspodcast.com, he and I are talking about Pearson, the Suits spinoff. And so we got a few more episodes of Pearson left. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
I love Suits. Love Suits.
Good to know, because we have a Suits spinoff coming again this summer, I believe.
Oh,
Suits
Lord,
LA will be coming.
we're going to talk about that.
We might have to talk about it. And so check that out on suitspodcast.com. You can also check out the Nothing But Netflix podcast, where Rob and I joined Jason and Mary to talk about Love is Blind, the premiere of that. I'm sure people are making their way through the series. But if you want to get more coverage of Love is Blind, you can check out the Nothing But Netflix podcast to hear what Rob and I thought about the cast and about the show in its first week. I think we had one more episode since then, probably dropped. What's today? Yeah, I think we did the movie Players. And so yeah, it's the number 2 movie on Netflix right now. Check it out. And it's starring Gina Rodriguez, I believe, and Damon Wayans Jr. So check that out. We had a fun time talking about it. Sasha and I are still covering Below Deck on RHAP. Every Wednesday we go live on YouTube, so you can check that out. And then me and Puya are going to bring back our coverage of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because we did the premiere, we liked it, you all asked for it, and so we're going to finish out the series in this next coming week, so that we have all our takes cemented for the end of time on YouTube. Check that out on our YouTube page. Shout out to Leaf Vxllage for the Recap Kickback theme song, Wall Maria. And until next time, of course, stay black, stay at the kickback. Mari, these people ain't got to go home, but they got to get the hell out of here. Peace.